Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Honest Football Talk, where I, Thomas Llewellyn, give you guys my honest take on everything going on in the NFL world today. And I hope everyone had a great week. I know I've been enjoying the summer so far. Been a lot of heat lately, so getting down by the pool been really nice to relax and whatnot. Hope you guys have been enjoying the summer, but figured let's go ahead and get started into the show and cover our first NFL story. First thing I want to get into, I want to go ahead and get the sad news out of the way. First topic we'll get into is Rashad Penny. If you guys have seen lately, he had just been picked up by the Carolina Panthers, but unfortunately he has decided to retire. If you guys knew, the Eagles had picked him up last year. It's kind of why I kind of follow Rashad Penny a little bit more closely. I thought he was a great pickup at the time for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was, of course, originally drafted by the he was originally drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. He was drafted in the first round of the 2018 draft. He was later in the first round. I believe it was the 27th pick. We'll get a little bit more into the story here, but I wanted to cover it because, like I said, after he left the Seattle Seahawks, one of the main reasons he's retiring is because he had a bunch of injuries throughout his career with the Seahawks. Really hurt his chances of getting on the field and producing a lot, but when he was out on the field, you could really see the talent. You could see the potential in Rashad Penny to really be a great talent in the NFL. So I thought it was a great pickup for the Eagles. I thought, it was a great chance for him to show that, he still belonged in the league, and if he was healthy, he could produce. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to get much on the field for the Eagles. It was a lot of DeAndre Swift and Kenny Gainwell. There was very little of Rashad Penny. I think he might have been in like 2 games, maybe. It wasn't a lot. I can't really remember, but I know that he did not even suit up for most games for the Eagles. So it was sad to see that. I was hoping that maybe it was just because the Eagles had a lot of talent already at running back. So, but it might have been just that Penny was dealing with injuries and wasn't able to get himself out there and be healthy. This statement comes directly from Rashad Penny just a few weeks back. This is from Bleacher Report. He says, "I've always believed in myself, knowing my capabilities," Penny said. "I think everybody else knows that when I'm healthy, I'm probably like a top running back in the league. I know my place. I know what I can do, so I just keep striving from there." It's really sad hearing him. He still believes he's one of the best in the league when he's healthy, and I agree. I mean, there's a lot of tape out there when you see some of his highlights from the Seattle Seahawks of him breaking off these great runs that it shows that he could have been one of the best in the league if he stayed healthy. But unfortunately, injuries happen in the NFL. It hurts a lot of careers. It's not just Rashad Penny. It's unfortunate that this happened to him, but I wish him all the best going forward, and hopefully he can find himself somewhere in broadcasting or coaching or something. Always sticking with the sport. I think he's got a great talent for the sport, so I hope he doesn't move too far away from it. Hope he's able to coach or do something in that field to keep the drive and keep the passion going. So good luck out there, Rashad. And yeah, going on from there, we'll get on to our second story in the NFL. This one has to do with a contract extension, a little bit more uplifting news, not so much depressing news here. We'll get into DJ Moore's contract extension with the Bears. They locked up the wide receiver on a historic deal worth $110 million over 4 years. The story comes from NFL.com. Talks about how the Chicago Bears wideout agreed on a 4-year, $110 million extension, as confirmed by CBS Sports lead insider Jonathan Jones. The extension includes $82.6 million in guaranteed. Moore made history by being the first NFL wide receiver to have the first 10 years of his career guaranteed. Very interesting. So yeah, it's fair to say that Moore has earned his history-making contract last season. Moore set career highs with 96 catches for 1,364 yards and 8 touchdowns. He had 5 games with at least 100 receiving yards. That included his 230-yard, 3-touchdown effort in Chicago's Week 5 win over Washington. So it just goes to show there, those stats I just read from last year, definitely well-deserving of this contract extension. I always thought it was really interesting that the Bears decided to trade for DJ Moore when DJ Moore was originally with the Carolina Panthers. DJ Moore always looked like he was a great talent, just never had a quarterback to throw to him. And then last year he finally had Justin Fields, a much better product and much more proven of a quarterback out there to actually, get him the ball, where he has been struggling to get, a first-string quarterback to stay on the field for Carolina for a few years when he was there. I can understand DJ's frustration. So it's great that he was able to pull off this deal, get himself, what was it again, 82.6 million guaranteed. So good for the wide receivers. Wide receivers have been eating well this offseason. Lots of good money there to be a wide receiver, top tier wide receiver in the NFL right now. So. Definitely big congratulations to DJ. I think it's going to be great for the Bears. I don't think they're going to regret this deal. I think this is going to be even more DJ Moore being putting up even bigger numbers. I know that they had just picked up Keenan Allen in a trade with the Chargers, as well as drafting Rome Odunze 9th overall this past April. So I think that the offense is going to have a lot of good weapons, and I know that they had just gotten rid of Justin Fields. There's an argument around if Justin Fields is like a really, really top tier, starting quarterback in the NFL. I personally believe he's got the characteristics and the build to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He just needs to be, of course, more consistent in his passing game. That's something that we have yet to see. Maybe he'll continue to develop that. I think sometimes it takes some quarterbacks some years to develop that. I don't like this new trend in the NFL where quarterbacks just go in and they're like thrown out to immediately be successful, and if they're not, they're just immediately never back in the NFL again. I think that's a little, that's not always realistic for some players. Some players take some years to adapt, and I think Justin Fields still has an opportunity. He's not out of the woods yet. Same with Kenny Pickett. I think that these are quarterbacks that, they're still young, they still got potential, so I'm not going to, sleep too much on these quarterbacks. But at the same time, looking back at DJ Moore and his situation, now he's getting Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick this past draft. So even though the Bears have moved on from Justin Fields, I think that who they're replacing him with is a much more consistent passer. So I think that even with DJ Moore's last year, like I said, Justin Fields isn't as consistent of a passer, but they got a rookie that seems to be a lot more consistent. We'll see if he's able to pick up the offense well and produce well in this system that he's going to be in. Of course, this is all pros now, going to be completely different from college, so we'll see how much Caleb Williams is. How much Caleb Williams is able to, adapt to the NFL world. I think it's going to be a good transition for him, especially with the offensive weapons that he's got. This is a much better Bears offense than it's been in years past, and I think that's been difficult for Bears fans to have to handle as well, having to deal with these teams that they seem to be right on the edge. Whether they had Justin Fields, they always thought Justin Fields had the potential to be great, but just didn't have the pieces around him, and now the year that they finally have the pieces around him, they get rid of him. It's it's unfortunate, but we'll see. Now that I think, like I said, bringing all back to DJ Moore, of course, and his deal, focusing on him, I think that, of course, this is all going to benefit him in the long run. With Caleb Williams coming into this system, he's going to have a lot of targets, and I think he's going to make DJ Moore's favorite target just because not only has he been in this system and knows the system well, I think that the head coach and other players around him are going to try to focus on DJ Moore, getting him the ball this season. So out of all the receivers, DJ Moore, I think, is going to be the top one, along with Keenan Allen. I think that they could very well both be like a top 10 wide receiver duo, but I do think DJ Moore will get a little bit more love just because he's been in the system. So yeah, I think it's a great deal for DJ Moore, and looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. Like I said, I think that Keenan Allen is right up there with him. I think Keenan Allen is a better talent than DJ Moore overall, but at the same time, DJ Moore has been with the Bears longer, so I think both players are going to benefit off that. And like I said, we could see both receivers top 10 this year. Would not surprise me whatsoever. We'll just see how well that offense develops under Caleb Williams as a rookie. But yeah, overall, awesome deal for DJ Moore. Wish him all the best going forward. We'll see how everything pans out in Chicago. It's going to be fun watching him, that's for sure. And we got more to talk about Chicago here later on in the episode. But getting on to my last story, we have Lions starting left tackle Taylor Decker reaching a $60 million extension. Whoa. I think this is awesome for the Lions. Decker is an offensive tackle. He has the longest tenure for Detroit Lions and has agreed to another 3-year extension to left tackle. Has reached an agreement on a 3-year, $60 million that includes $31.83 million guaranteed. So yeah, I think this is great just because, like I said, the Lions, one of their biggest positives for them throughout these past few years has been their offensive line. They've been known to be great in the trenches, and yeah, I think that Taylor Decker being a key piece of that, very good that they signed him to an extension. They had just recently signed Penei Sewell, another one of their tackles, to an extension as well. So they're shoring up their offensive line, making sure that money is spent well on the organization. Like I said, it's been rough for the Lions in years past. Of course, there's the 0-16 season. It's been quite the playoff drought until last year. Excuse me. Now you got Dan Campbell as the head coach. I feel like he's brought in a great culture into that locker room that's been, paying dividends. You've been seeing it a lot here, especially lately. This past year, that team made it all the way up NFC Championship. Would have never expected, but now it's crazy to see how far they've come. I still think that they can go even further. I don't know if Jared Goff is the answer per se. He's definitely proven that he belongs in this league and he belongs as a starter. I'm curious to see if he can, take them to the next level and actually win them a Super Bowl. It would be awesome to see Detroit win a Super Bowl in the Dan Campbell era. I think it's possible. And like I said, they're spending the money right. The organization's doing everything right, paying the right players, paying their offensive line that protects their quarterback and making sure that those pieces are there to stay for a long time. So good on the Lions. Looking forward to seeing how they continue to build going forward. But yeah, very, very good on them. Let's keep it moving now. Like I said, very, very much looking forward to them, seeing how they're going to continue to improve as time goes on. But let's get to the main thing that this episode's all about. Let's get into the Hall of Fame game preview. Can you believe it, guys? We are here. We are finally at NFL football time. I know it's just a preseason game. No big starters are going to be starting, but we're finally going to get that taste of live-action NFL football. And we're going to see a lot of backups in this game, but I am curious to see. The Hall of Fame game is, of course, going to be played tonight. If you're paying attention, it's going to be Houston Texans versus the Chicago Bears. It'll be held in Canton, Ohio, so no home field advantage of that nature. But I am very curious to see some of these rookies that are probably going to have an opportunity. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of players who I'm really excited to see play tonight and have an opportunity. So looking at the Texans side of things, I am excited to see who are they going to have at quarterback? Who's going to be the backup? Who's going to be their primary backup going in if something happens to C.J. Stroud? So I think it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to keep Davis Mills as the backup. Are they going to make Case Keenum be their backup? They also have Tim Boyle on there. So who's going to win that backup job? Who's going to end up being the third string? Curious to see how that plays out. What running backs are they going to play this game? There's been there was the infamous of when Josh Jacobs played in the Hall of Fame game, and everyone believes that if you play in the Hall of Fame game, you're on the edge of getting cut from the roster. So that might not always be the case here. We'll see. With new offensive coordinators and new systems and stuff, they want to get these players adjusted to the new system, understand the playbooks as early as possible. So I can see coaches wanting to play more star players in key positions if they want to get them adapted to the playbook quicker. So there's some players here that I wanted to see. Who's another rookie? Jawar Jordan is a running back, rookie out of Louisville. Curious to see how he does here in this game. There's plenty of rookies that are definitely Cade Stover, the tight end for the Texans as well. Curious to see how he does. And yeah, defensively, we got some rookies, defensive ends, Solomon Byard. Can't think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize. I'm not great on names, of course, but yeah, and Jamal Hill, linebacker out of Oregon. We'll see how he does. But yeah, lots of young talents going to be making their debut in the NFL. See how they transition from college to NFL, and we'll be keeping our eye on those players. And then looking on the Bears side of things, I think the Bears have already stated Caleb Williams will not be starting this game, which is sad, of course, but at the same time, totally understandable. If they plan on starting him all 17 games this year, they want to, ease him into things. So might not want to get him immediately off the ground in there, but they do have some competition for backup. Tyson Badgett, I think, is going to be starting tonight, so curious to see how he does. 2 years out of Shepherd. They also got a rookie out of Western Kentucky, Austin Reed. Curious to see if he gets much playtime tonight. Is he going to end up, taking over Badgett's backup role? How much is Reed going to take over here? So Looking at running backs, who are they going to use? They're going to mix in Travis Homer and Khalil Herbert, or are they going to get more younger bucks in there, like this Ian Wheeler out of Howard? Curious to see if he gets a lot of play time. Got wide receiver Peter LeBlanc as well as Rome Odunze. I don't know if they're going to get Odunze in there early as well. I assume they're going to play the same approach with him as they are with Caleb Williams. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, other rookies to look out for. Had some other names here. Let's see. Defensive end, Austin Booker out of Kansas. Rookie, Carl Jones Jr. out of UCLA. Might be interesting. Jareem Kruma out of James Madison. All rookie defensive ends. So yeah, lots of young players again for both sides of the ball. And rookie out of Troy, Reddy Stewart, cornerback. We'll see how much playtime these guys get. But yeah, for giving a score prediction, I'm going to say that I personally think that the Bears have a little bit better depth than the Texans. Could be completely wrong on that. Could be completely flipped. We're going to find that out, right? So just judging by the names and how much the Bears have built this offseason, I'm just going to say that, they got a little bit more firepower with their younger talent. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. We'll find out tonight. So I'll say that the Bears win by maybe a touchdown. So I don't know if it's going to be a big scoring game, being the Hall of Fame game. I don't think they ever are. So I'm going to say it's going to be like 21-17 for the Bears. Final prediction. So yeah. Hope everyone enjoys the game. Let me know your thoughts on everything. What do you guys think of some of these new stories? What do you think of these extensions for DJ Moore and Taylor Decker? I think they're rightfully deserved. And yeah, what do you guys anticipate for the game? Any players you guys are excited to watch? Let me know. And I'll be back again next week. We'll be covering what happened this game, and of course, now that we're finally getting into the NFL, we'll actually be covering week-to-week games and other big news that's going on in the NFL. But yeah, it's great that we're finally on the verge of the season starting here. We got actual football on tonight, and it just keeps going from here, guys. Just keeps getting better and better. So look forward to it. Appreciate everyone for tuning in and going on this journey with me. And yeah, excited to see the 2024 NFL season start. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to be there with me. So look forward to hearing from you guys again this week. I'll be back next week. This is Honest Football Talk. This is Thomas Llewellyn, and I'm signing out, guys. Take care. Have a good one. See ya.